What's happening, guys? What is going on? Happy Thursday. Today is December 21st, 2023. And thanks for the birthday wishes from everybody. I appreciate that. Yes, today is my official birthday. And you guys are fast. Let some people get on board here. And as you can see, the title of the video is the Earth really flat? It's just a question. We're going to talk about a lot of other things in this video. I've got some cool things to share with you guys. In another folder that I've been putting together for a few days, I've had this stuff, some of the stuff for, I don't know, maybe a week or so. But I'm going to share a little bit of it in this video here. We're going to talk about, which has been a conspiracy. It's been a topic of debate for at the very least hundreds of years. Is the Earth flat around? Everybody has an opinion. All of you very smart people in this chat room right here. You can see your names. You know who you are. Vicky Thomas, Royal, Matthew, Dustin, D. Wilson. Thank you. Thank you, Mila. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Rose, for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate that. That's very kind. I appreciate that. And again, this is just a talking point. I don't want to argue. I don't want to, nobody's right, nobody's wrong. It's that type of thing. It's just a topic. That's all. It's a topic that's been around for a long time, and it's not going anywhere. There's some people that feel very strongly that the. I'm sorry, I was looking at some. There's some people that feel very strongly that the Earth is indeed round. And there's some people that feel equally as strong that the Earth is flat. So, Human Scourge, happy birthday, sir. Longtime fan. Thank you. I appreciate that. Human, I hope I get this right. Scourge? That's very kind. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're looking at a weather map here. I just put this on because sometimes on live streams it takes a little bit for people to get on board. So, looking at the weather moving down here in the southwestern United States, it's already coming into California. Those of you over in California might be getting a little bit wet already in South Central California. Right now in Arizona, as you can probably see out my window behind me, it's all blue. Clear skies, not raining here yet. However, starting tomorrow and through Saturday, we're supposed to see significant for Arizona, significant rainfalls happening. You guys just got 6 inches in parts of the eastern United States, and in fact, I wanted to give you an update on. Look at that! Still 108,000 without power up in Maine. This is day 3 now. Wow. That's a lot. That's a long time to be without power. Um, Hold on just a second, guys. I don't know what's going on here. I might have to stop and restart this. Okay, here we go. I don't want to, but let's see. Maybe not. Maybe not. Here we go. Here we go. There. I just changed it. Okay. So here's what happened. The thumbnail that I had was not the right thumbnail, and my moderator was so kind to let me know that was not the right thumbnail. Thank you, moderator. I have the best moderator in the world, I think. Thank you, moderator. But here's the thumbnail that was supposed to be, and it is now. So if you refresh the screen, this is probably what's up. With the thumbnail, I had the wrong thumbnail up. We can't have the same thumbnail from the last video because it's going to think I'm replaying the last video, and I'm not. I just chose this one. It's a artist rendition of the flat Earth model, and then the moon, and then the sun, and then a question mark. That's supposed to be the banner for this video. So we'll get back to that in a minute. But again, it's just a long time topic of debate, and there's, like I said, people that feel very strongly. I've never really touched on the subject for many years. I don't agree with anybody. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, okay? But anyway, still have over 100,000 customers in Maine without electricity. Again, this is day 3. At one point, they were at 461,000 without power, so it's going to be a while to get the power fully restored in Maine. But wow, that's been out for now over 72 hours, and there's the storm. You can still see what's left of it, still exiting the northeastern part of the United States up into Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. And guys, this power outage map is only good for the United States. It doesn't include Canada. Otherwise, I would love to mention, even though I don't want power outages in Canada, I would definitely mention the power outages in Canada if the map had that data. It doesn't have the data. It's only in the US. However, I know that storm did produce many power outages in Canada, especially in Eastern Canada. A lot. I don't know if you're getting the power restored. Hopefully you are. But nevertheless, yeah, big storm up in the Pacific, or not the Pacific. There was one up here a couple of days ago. They've had a series of atmospheric rivers in the Pacific Northwest. That would be the northeastern United States, and there's the storm right there exiting. This is over here at windy.com because I'm waiting on the arrival of the atmospheric river that's supposed to bring rain to me, and a lot of other people in Arizona and California. You can see the rain already coming down in parts of Central California. Not necessarily heavy, moderate rain, I would say, but nevertheless, it is raining in California right now as I do this video. Thanks for stopping by, guys. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the birthday wishes. Today's my birthday, so we're going to talk about, is the Earth round or is it flat? And only because it's my birthday, I'm going to bring it up. I've never brought it up, and those of you that follow my channel, I mean, even you people that are new, welcome to my channel. It's something I've never talked about. But like you, I have an opinion too. We all have opinions and theories, and yours are as valid as mine. They all count. You know, everybody's theory counts as far as I'm concerned, and should be heard and looked at. You know, we all have something to offer. That doesn't mean I'm right, you're wrong. This whole flat Earth thing, it's never going to go away. But I have offered some things and didn't mention it. I have offered, like I just did this in a video not too long ago. I shared this photo. It's an image of the Earth. I don't know if you were in the last, I think it was the last live stream, or maybe a video, I don't know. But that is an actual view of the Earth, and what you're looking at is the magnetosphere during a moderate geomagnetic storm. And you can clearly see the Earth side of the daylight side of the Earth, the side that's the brightest. And when I mentioned, because it's been a long time, this image is over 20 years old. And I've had it for a long time. I've just never shared it with you guys. But we're sharing it now. This is an image of the Earth. They're analyzing the magnetosphere. And what you're looking at, basically, they call this cold plasma. Notice the shadow behind the Earth. See it back here? Right back here. I don't know if you can see my mouse or not, but Notice the shadow behind the Earth. Say this is the Earth. That's the Earth right here. There's a shadow back here. Right back here. See it? It's a shadow back here. Daylight coming from over here. Daylight on this side of the Earth. Shadow back here. And when I said that this was a view from Antarctica, this is a view from north. That's the Arctic Circle. So that's a view of the Earth from high above the Earth, not below. Exactly how high? Don't know. That's a good question. Only the shadow knows, Jimmy. Good point. Who else we got over here? Water needs a container. Plasma. That is a word that has been said many, many, many times in the last few months. William Flynn. I've been watching this channel to see him find the truth about NASA in real time for years. You know what? I've got a telescope right over there, and I don't know if I can find out, anything revolutionary that's going to be earth changing. But I do love to watch the Earth. I do love to watch how all of this works. It fascinates me, to be honest with you. It really does. And kind of off subject a little bit, I just heard, and I've seen it in the chat. I heard there was somebody, and I don't really want to mention their name, but part of it is suspicious. That's in their name. They were talking bad about me. Is that true? Is there any truth to that? Thank you, Silky. Appreciate that. Yeah, I heard that there was somebody that was saying some not so nice things about me. Um, the tyrant, Earth is a triangle. Hey, you know what, tyrant? I've got a triangle to share with you guys. Uh, at the bottom of the ocean. Yeah, at the bottom of the ocean. What? Yeah, found it at the bottom of the ocean. You'll see here in just a moment. Um, it's wider at the equator. Yes. And did you know, or do you care? Did you know that the Earth is wider? And I think we can prove it through simple deductive reasoning, maybe a little bit of math. Um, the Earth is a little bit bigger in the southern hemisphere than it is in the northern hemisphere. And I think we can come close to how much bigger. Check this out. Love from Scotland. What's up, Donut? Thank you. Holographic Universe. Hi, y'all. Sending much peace and harmony from Dolan Springs, Arizona. That's my neighbor. Who's that from Arizona? Kendra McGrath. Thank you. That's very kind. Dolan Springs, Arizona. Pitchercore Ranch. I hope I got that right. If I did not, I apologize. Glad to have you. Thanks for stopping by. But check this out. Okay, that's a view of the Earth from, 2,000 miles in the sky. Here we go. I want to show you something. We're going to come back to this article here in a minute from Scientific American, Flat Earthers, what they believe and why, and Round Earthers and what they believe and why. It's a double-sided coin. But we'll talk about that later. I want to show you guys something that I found that kind of points to and maybe sheds a little light, no pun intended, on the whole round Earth, spherical Earth, whatever you believe. And I know all of you have an opinion, and I want you to have an opinion. I want you to be thinkers. Think, figure it out. But check this out. Today is the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere up here. Northern hemisphere, winter solstice, December 21st. That means the Earth is at its farthest peak or tilt. The sun is as low as it's going to go. And now the sun is going to start its journey back up. I've measured the shadow before. I haven't done it in a while, but I measured the shadow from equinox to solstice. And I watched the shadow grow each day. And I learned how much the shadow should move each day. And believe it or not, the shadow would stay the same every once in a while. The shadow didn't grow, and then it would make up for it the next day. And my measuring device, it was like a vertical pipe is what I used. the next day it would make up for it. It was really kind of a fascinating study, but check this out. Here's what I've learned. Okay, since today is it's the summer solstice down in the southern hemisphere, winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, right? So those of us up here in the northern hemisphere, it's our shortest day of the year, the day with the least amount of daylight. Okay. In the southern hemisphere, it's the opposite. It's the day with the most daylight. It's their longest day of the year, first day of summer. Okay, so here we go. Check this out. I'm over here at sunriseandsunset.com. Very simple, okay? And it gives you the sunrises and sunsets around the world. You can type in any place in the world, and it will tell you what time the sun rises and what time the sun sets on any day of the year. We're going to choose today. And here we go. December 21st, 2023 and that's a Thursday, December 21st, 2023. It's already, I believe, the 22nd in Sydney, but I'm just using this for presentation purposes. The sunrise was at 5:42 a.m. this morning, and sunset was at 20:04, which would be 8:04 in the evening. So the length of the day, 14 hours and 22 minutes. That's what the column is over here on the right. See? Length, day length. You got sunrise and sunset. So that does align with the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere. It's their longest day of the year. And then after today, and this is how the shadow moves too. The shadow moves, I mean, it's like clockwork. The shadow moves just like the time does. Notice the time. Sometimes the shadow would stay the same, like the time stays the same on the 22nd. The length of the day is 14:22, 14:22, 14:22 for about 5 days. And then on the 27th, it goes to 14:21. The shadow moves very slowly like that too. I think the shadow moved an inch every 3 days, but each day it would move about an eighth of an inch or less. Some days it would move 3/8, and then some days the shadow wouldn't move at all. Because I measured it every day from equinox to solstice. But anyway, there's the length of the day right now in the southern hemisphere. Let's just check the northern hemisphere and see what the length of the day was on June 21st. And I chose Miami. Don't ask me why. I just did. June 21st, 2023. Sunrise was at 6:28 a.m. compared to sunrise in Sydney, Australia. That was at 5:41 a.m. So a slight difference there. And this is in Miami, Florida. Sun set in Miami, Florida on June 21st, 8:16 p.m. compared to Sydney, Australia, sunset at 8:04 p.m. So there's a difference of 35 minutes. The length of the day on solstice day in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, the length of the day is 35 minutes longer in the southern hemisphere than it is in the northern hemisphere. Length of the day shows you right here, 13 hours, 47 minutes on June 21st. Go down to the southern hemisphere once again on December 21st. 14 hours and 22 minutes. So 13 plus 22 is 35. The length of day is 35 minutes longer on the same day of the year. So that tells me that the bottom of the earth has to be approximately 500 miles, maybe 550 miles wider at the bottom of the earth than it is at the top. So that tells me that the earth is probably shaped more like I don't know, a weird pear, maybe. If you look at this, you can kind of definitely see how it goes up, and it definitely kind of flat on the top, right? But it's difficult to tell here. They were just trying to highlight the magnetosphere, and that's what they were studying was the magnetosphere. But I use simple math. Earth at the equator, for those of you that subscribe to the round Earth It's around what, 24,000 and change, and it takes 24 hours to make one complete rotation. So that tells us that the Earth rotates at approximately 1,000 miles per hour. I know it's hard to wrap your mind around. I get it. I totally agree. But if that is the case, and it does rotate at around 1,000 miles per hour, and the length of a day in the southern hemisphere is 35 minutes longer on the longest day of the year, 35 minutes would be at 1,000 miles per hour, about 575 miles, because 1 hour equals 1,000 miles. A half an hour would equal 30, or a half an hour would equal 500 miles. 35 minutes would be about 550 miles. So the bottom of the Earth is bigger than the top, and I think that's how it maintains the constant. So they tell us, I don't know how else it would, the constant 23.6 degree tilt, because it would have to be bigger at the bottom, right? That's what it tells me. And I think by looking at this using just a little bit of deductive reasoning, we can see that the length of day is longer. If it was perfectly round, then it would be exactly the same. And I know you're going to get a little bit of a variation from, say, Miami to Richmond, Virginia, and Melbourne, from Sydney to Brisbane, and that there's going to be a slight variation, but not that much. So I think the southern hemisphere is a little bit bigger. But is it like flat with a firmament and things like that? I don't know. It's a good question. A lot of people truly think it is, and they have very good arguments, and that's all it is. It's just a debate, and now it's really not necessarily the place, because I can't keep up with the comments. Maybe sometime we'll have a hangout where we can talk about it in a way that makes sense and things like that. And this is a pretty good article about, at the end of the day, pretty much everything's a theory. Just like this here, this image was taken over 20 years ago. Keep in mind, 20 years ago, we were still trying to understand how plasma affects the Earth. And they did learn that plasma comes from the backside of the Earth and whips around to the front side of the Earth during these CME arrivals and things like that. And this was just 20 years ago, okay? We're still learning about this place that we call home. There's a lot to learn. We don't even know completely what's at the bottom of our oceans. But I want to show you something. I think you're going to get a kick out of this. That's at the bottom of the ocean. Check this out. Here we go. It's going to switch gears a little bit because someone over here had mentioned. Yeah, I know. I've had people Fong Pai talk about the firmament, um, and they will argue. But we'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. Possible triangle craft at the bottom of the sea. Check this out. Ready? Here we go. This is a Google Earth find. See if you can see it. Okay, this is out in the middle of the ocean, and here we go. This was shared with me by a person by the name of Chris. Yeah, I didn't find this. Look at that. See? Okay, I'm gonna pause right there. I got more to share, but check it out. You guys see it? You guys see that right there? Hollow Earth. I've heard about that too. There's all kinds of wild theories, and the thing about it is, me and you and everybody in this chat room, at the end of the day, we can argue and debate and give our talking points and valid observations, but at the end of the day, none of us get off the surface of this place, you know? And we're stuck here. But I know there's some people that aren't. I'll just leave it at that. But what do you see here, huh? Do you see it? Yeah, look at that right there. Something down in that big valley, that big ravine, kind of laying at an angle. See it? There you go. Here's a different view. See it right here? What is that? Looks like something like crashed into the ocean. This is in the ocean, people. Here's a flipped version. Light is dark, dark is light. I don't think they're lights. They could be, but I got to be honest with you. I saw one by sheer accident. I wasn't looking for it. I was sitting outside drinking coffee in November, I think it was. No, October of 2017, and one appeared that looked very similar to that right there. And they weren't really lights. They were like, because you got to keep in mind, these things aren't out flying around for everybody to see. They're very clandestine. It was a perfect match with the color black of the nighttime sky. And when I say perfect, I mean perfect. I could have been sitting there looking right at it and didn't know it. The only reason I saw it is because it tilted. And when it tilted like that, I saw it and it took off to the south. But when it tilted, I saw that on the bottom. And they weren't glowing lights like, hey, look at me. They were like, they were part of the structure. They were indeed round. They were, hey, John Latino, thank you. Rob Skibka did a pretty good job. Not saying it's flat, but it's interesting. So Rob Skibka or Skiba, okay. God bless you too. Thank you for the information, and thank you for the $5. I appreciate that. But back to this, what I saw, and I only got a brief look at this thing. You got to keep in mind, it could have been sitting there, and I had no idea because the black was a perfect match to the night sky. It tilted. I saw the bottom. It took off. It had those things on the bottom that, again, were part of the structure. They weren't really lights. The only way I can describe them is they look like literally a ping pong ball, same color as a ping pong ball, and probably the same type of density, I guess, as a ping pong ball with regard to the flow of light that would be able to come through it, whatever. It didn't look like a light. It was very dim, but bright enough to where you could see something that looked exactly like that right there. Exactly. And then it just took off. So here's another view. Here's yet another view. This is in the middle of the ocean, right here on your planet. Here's another view. And that one there turned out not too bad. It's tough to see, but it's an anomaly. Either way, at the bottom of the ocean, that doesn't look like definitely doesn't look like its surroundings. There's a pulled out view, and you can see there's valleyways and whatnot, and then you got that sitting right there. It just looks way out of place. Totally agree. It doesn't look like its surroundings. It looks like it's more of intelligent design than it is a mountain. And that's what that is. That's a mountain range that's underwater. That was probably at one time above water. Now it's, not above water. That's a mountain range. That's a mesa. There's a mesa right there. That's a mesa. What else we got? I can probably show you a better view. There you go. That's a mesa. That's a big valley. There it is right there. Looks just like surface features that we would see on dry ground. I know driving up into northern Arizona, there's parts of the mountains that look just like that. Look just like that aren't, submerged in water. I think at one time they were, but they're not today. While we're occupying the earth, they're not. But I found that kind of interesting. I put interesting things in these live streams. because sometimes, it's like that right there, that's not enough material to make one video. So I'll put it in live streams to keep them interesting, and we're not just stuck on, one content for the duration of the live stream. And since today is my birthday, I'm not going to be on like super long. I just wanted to bring up a couple of things that I wanted to share with you guys. Speaking of something strange, 2.0 earthquake in Arizona at 1 o'clock in the morning. No, I didn't feel it. It's at the northern edge of Arizona, be north and west of the Grand Canyon, or no, due north of the Grand Canyon. That's Hoover Dam. So there's the Hoover Dam, Colorado River. So it would have been, what, 50 miles west of the Hoover Dam? Whoa, that's a little too close to the Hoover Dam. The Hoover Dam provides, electricity to a lot of people, and it also controls our water supply out here in Arizona from the Colorado River. Quick update on the solar eclipse, 108 days away from today. April 8th, 2024 is the day that the big comet's going to join us in the sky above Earth. And here's the comet. I've been following it for days. I've been following it for weeks, to be honest with you. There it is right there. It's getting closer, closer, and closer, and closer, and closer. 12P Pons Brooks. That's the comet that's going to join us in the daytime sky. That should be visible in the daytime sky during the total solar eclipse on April 8th of 2024. So we're going to be in one of these areas. Don't know which one yet because I'm waiting to see which area in this path you see right here. And I'm over here at greatamericaneclipse.com. And this is the path of the upcoming total solar eclipse right there. So we're going to be in one of those states where there's going to be no cloud cover on April 8th. So I'm going to wait until there's, like a 10-day forecast, and then go from there. I'm going to try to bring you guys the eclipse live and the comet live. How about that? That comet, man, I tell you what, this thing, it's a volcanic comet, has ice volcanoes. You can't make this stuff up. Totally wild. There's another view of I shared this photo yesterday. Yesterday's video was, I don't even know, but anyway, I shared a cool photo. Hi, Michael from Kevin. Happy blessed birthday. Thank you, Kevin. Grateful Heart 333. That's my favorite number. Thank you, Kevin. It's very kind. Photo at the homepage of the website sent in by Luisa L. Again, out of Slovakia. This is a close-up view of that super bizarre, highly photogenic sky from Slovakia. Just the other day, I just got that photo, two others very similar to it. I put this one on the homepage of the website. There were two more. One was the full view of this thing that, again, was highly, highly photogenic. Super cool. Some other things that I wanted to share with you. Oh, this here. Okay, this was sent to me yesterday, to be honest. It's the first time I've seen it. Have you guys ever seen this? I always ask you guys because you guys are a vast wealth of knowledge. You ever see this here? Oh, you saw a TR or TR3B? Yeah, it was. I didn't have time to take a picture of it. Air Shireton, but I did see one. I've actually seen two. I think the other one was. I don't know. The other one looked kind of like that. Looked like a boomerang. But this showed up in an ISS live feed. And thank you, Lenny Lovett. I appreciate the birthday wishes. Thank you, guys. This was showed up in the ISS live feed back in 2021. I just got this. I'd never seen it. I've got somebody doing some research to see if they can find the footage of this thing when it appeared above the Earth. Don't know what to make of it. It looks really cool. Obviously, it looks symmetrical. It looks like it's of intelligent design. Totally. It's even got the same type of features over here on the right and left-hand sides. Pretty wild. So trying to get the details on this thing, and as soon as I do, I'll bring them to you. But this was potentially spotted hovering above the Earth uh, just a little over 2 years ago, because we're seeing other things that are showing up that people just don't normally see. In fact, let me show you real quick in case you didn't see them in yesterday's video. Here we go. These are other things that are showing up above the Earth right there. Check this out by Lisa out of Arkansas. Notice that. And this is again from the ISS live cam. Look, I'm not saying it's exactly like that, but it looks like a structure, right? Some sort of a structure above the Earth. It was spotted by multiple people. Lisa, Nelson, someone else sent me that too. This is Nelson. Nelson follows the ISS live cam. Right there's a close-up view. And then here's these wild lines again that are showing up. Tracy sees these a lot. Hey, what's up, D? Thank you so much. Watch the video by Rob Skibba, how the four seasons work. Okay, we'll check it out. And that's one thing that I would debate. How do the four seasons work on a flat Earth model? You know, and how does the constant flow of the jet stream, how does it continue to just constantly circumnavigate the Earth? How does, and because I follow La Nina and El Nino, I've followed the INSO for years. Okay, this is not anything new to me. I've followed this for years because I know it influences the jet streams, and the jet streams are very influential on our weather, on everybody's weather that's in this room. And we're switching to El Nino, and it's because of a temperature anomaly right out here, and it's warming up. The ocean is warming up right out here. So it will, and it already is, it's changing the patterns of the jet stream. How do the jet streams keep going around? You know, we can follow storms from one hemisphere to the next. What keeps them going? You know what I mean? How does gravity work in the flat Earth model? You know, that's something that I would ask. How does gravity work? The Earth would have to be in a state of motion in order for gravity to work, correct? I don't know. Those are questions I have. How do weather patterns keep going and going and going pretty much infinitely? I don't know how gravity would work. The four seasons, that's a good one that would require some explaining. The shadow, I follow the shadow myself. You can do it yourself too. Just take any thing you can stand up and measure every day. I stood mine up on the back porch, and it was facing south. So as the sun's moving across the sky, I would go out and measure the shadow every day at noon. The same time, I would measure UV, and I could watch the shadow get longer and shorter. And you can see the sun, the pattern of the sun, go up and down from the 23.6 degree south latitude to the 23.6 degree north latitude. That's how far that's where the sun goes up and down every year, up and down the earth, um, in a year's time. So right now it's December 21st. It will start its transition back up, and by June 21st it will be up here right above the Sahara Desert, and then it will stop, and that'll be its peak on June 21st, June 22nd, and then it'll start its transition back down. I'm telling you, it's like clockwork. I've followed it for years on satellites. You can see the bright point on the face of the Earth from satellites. You can see the bright point just above the Sahara Desert. And during El Ninos, you'll see the trade winds, the wind shear increase, and it moves across the Earth like that. Then you'll see the sun start making its way back down. By September 21st, that bright spot is right back on the equator. I mean, it's like clockwork. I've followed it for many years. I don't know how all that works, and that changes the frequency. It's all about frequencies. The plants and well, every living creature, even the birds, they migrate by the frequency and not necessarily the temperature. Yeah, the temperature change is going to make them migrate, but it's the frequency, and magnetism and photosynthesis and everything. It's the everything UV. UV is a frequency. UVAB is a certain frequency. UVC is a certain frequency. That's how it's measurable. Play the video to learn. It is clockwork. All right, D. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. But anyway, here's a look at the weather that's coming up my way. We don't normally get weather in Arizona, so I'm actually looking forward to it. I want to see it rain. I don't want to see big, gnarly storms that take out power like they're still without power up in Maine. Man, that is just no fun. 108,000 customers still without power in Maine. That must have been a lot of power lines down. So the only good thing about that is when they get all that repaired, it should hold up during the next storm. And there will be more storms because of the new weather patterns that we're in, and the jet streams have changed locations. So they're going to funnel weather to the East Coast and Florida. It's probably going to be a dry spell in the middle of the country in Kansas and Oklahoma. Even maybe parts of the Texas Panhandle might see a little bit of a drought, and because the weather and the moisture is going to be channeled through Southern California, Arizona, parts of New Mexico, down into Florida, and then up the East Coast. So you guys will see a significant amount of stormy weather this year. You'll probably see some nor'easters this year if you're living in the East Coast area. We talked about that, I don't know, a couple live streams ago. So just be ready for weather changes, because the weather changes are in full swing. I wanted to give a big shout out to a gentleman that shared something with me. I thought this was so kind. I know I'm bouncing around on different subjects, but I want to do it while I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to jumble about 15 things here at once. And if I don't, I'll forget. But anyway, this was shared by Chad McHarg. Chad sent this to me. It was something that he created. I didn't do this. I wouldn't even begin to know how, but I wanted to share it because Chad took the time to make this. He sent this to me a while back. Obviously, he does excellent work. He did a great job. Thank you, Chad. I really appreciate that. Once again, I put his name down here at the bottom, and I don't want to mispronounce it. Chad McHarg. Great job. He made that one, and he made this one here. So this one is kind of like the gold, or maybe the black and white version, and this one is the color version right there. So good work by Chad. Thank you, Chad. Really appreciate that. What else do I have to share with you guys? Oh, here's another view of the Earth that you may not have seen. Check this out. And this view, the Earth is in there somewhere. Okay, this is back when, and they still do, they were studying the effects of plasma, solar wind, solar storms, CMEs, and things like that, the effects on the Earth, which affect us, right? So there's the view that this satellite was showing us right here. So that's looking at the Earth right there. However, this is it's simply in a different wavelength, a different frequency. Everything's frequencies, everything. This one's in like the 128 range. Let's just say this is 128. That's how it shows up so nice in just this color. That's what creates it, the frequency that they're dialing into. This is obviously a much different frequency, so the image is going to show up differently. That's how the Schumann resonance is measured. The Schumann resonance of the Earth is 7.86 or 7.83. That's the constant. when it variates and it fluctuates, the Schumann resonance, people are sensitive to it. This is another view of the energy that surrounds the Earth. So, I mean, I don't know if the Earth were flat. I don't know how we would get this type of presentation. Then again, if it was round, because I've only seen this a few times myself. But this image here is an image of the Earth from way up high. And this image is 20 years old. And it comes from the same location as that one right there. So, unique perspectives of our planet, no matter what you think it is. I'm not here to argue with you guys. You know that I'm not the argumentative type. But I will say I've heard somebody's been talking bad about me. And not you guys. You guys are all super cool. Super cool. You really are. And I'm very grateful for all of you guys. But yeah, I heard somebody was talking kind of bad about me. Okay, Red, you think it's flat? I respect that. No problem. Thank you, Gotch. I appreciate that. Yes, today's my Earth Day. I was told today by a young lady by the name of Sandra. Her name's Sandra Watts, and she wished me happy birthday as well. And she said, "You're not another day older. You're just another day wiser." And I'm like, that's a good way to look at all of our birthdays. Yeah, we're maybe physically another day older, but you are another day wiser. And wisdom comes with age. You're not born with wisdom. I've talked to some very wise men throughout the course of my adult life. I've always looked up to my elders, still do, and I always will. I used to talk to this man by the name of John. He lived in Minnesota. John was in his early 90s when I would speak with him like once a year. And we would talk for like an hour over the phone. And he did most of the talking. I just listened. I was fascinated by the way his mind, and the things that he had seen, because I learned something from him every time. I would be exhausted when we get off the phone. Thank you, Angelique, from New York. You're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you very much, Angelique. Yeah, but his name was John. I don't think he's no longer with us, but John was a very fascinating man. He was in the military before I was even born. He saw things and shared them with me that you wouldn't believe. Maybe some of you would, but John had no reason to lie. He was a very, very fascinating man, full of knowledge. And he was in his 90s, so he was just overflowing with knowledge. And I'm up here trying to grab as much of it as I can from him, And I learned a lot from John. Learned a lot. I loved to talk to John. Yeah, he was one of the wisest men I think I've ever known. Amazing guy. And he even in his early 90s, he was sharp as a tack, razor sharp. Amazing man. I don't know why I shared that with you, but I guess what Sandra shared with me, with age comes wisdom, and you're not a day. Well, you are a day older, but you're also a day wiser. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I got for today. We're almost at the 49-minute mark. I am going to keep this video under an hour because it is my birthday, and I do have something that I'm going to do. I'm actually going to, not going anywhere. I don't require all that. We've moved recently, and I haven't had a chance to use my grill. And you know how a lot of you guys that are here, you like to cook on the grill, right? I'm no different. I like to cook on the grill too. And since it's my birthday, I'm gonna go cook a meal on the grill because I haven't used it in months. And the weather's nice. It's supposed to get rainy tomorrow and Saturday, so I won't have a chance to use it then. I mean, I suppose I could, but I'd rather do it today on my birthday since it's nice. And I'm gonna. It's not like a grill. I call it a hibachi, but it's like a big griddle. Those big griddles. I'm gonna make up some chicken fried rice. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll take a couple of pictures as I'm making it, and I'll share those with you guys in my next video. So Yes, I want to thank you guys again for stopping by. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I just saw another one come through there. The We May Happy Birthday, SC, Beans and Frank, Vet Father. Thank all you guys. Mamal, hope I got that right. Sarah Kim, D, Ryan, Jennifer Jacob. Look at all you guys. Robin, thank you. It's going pretty fast. I'm trying to keep up. Kathy, Angela, Michelle B, uh, S23. Thank you guys. That's really cool. Happy Mushroom and Sherry Frey. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. And regardless of whether you think the earth is round or whether you think that the earth is flat, we still love you just the same. I think you're great. I think every one of you are great. You all have fascinating minds. I want you to be thinkers. If you think the earth is flat, that's cool with me. If you think the earth is round, that is also totally cool with me. I know you have your reasons, and I respect that. But just remember, respect my reasons too. We don't have to, get nasty with each other about our opinions, because at the end of the day, that's all they are, is opinions and theories. I have theories about the earth that I've shared with you guys openly. I don't think the earth is a planet. Oh, thank you, John. Um, and for the happy birthday wishes, really appreciate that. I don't think there are planets anywhere. I think there is, but I don't think they're. I think they're being misidentified. But we'll talk about that again later, right? But that's just my opinion. It's just a theory, right? So it doesn't mean I'm correct. It's just a theory. It's the way I think. And you know what? That big storm system, that's probably going to turn into an atmospheric river right there in a few days. Anyway, I'm just thinking out loud. All right, guys, thanks for stopping by. Again, thanks for all the birthday wishes. What's my theory, Ilka? I'll share my theory coming up soon. Okay, I'll share my theory on what I think the Earth is, and I'll leave it at this. I don't think the Earth is a planet. I don't think it ever was. But we'll talk about that some other time. Okay. All right. I thank you all for stopping by. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I got to go get to my grill and that too. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.